All right, we're live. Hello, Internet. Oh, I should probably open up the Restream chat software. Let's do that. Oops.
I should probably do show notes at some point here, shouldn't I?
Yeah. Being
Open
prepared
them or do
is
them.
overrated.
Do them, dude. I'm only prepared for one show, and that's the show I host.
I'm only prepared for one thing at a time.
That's right. Oh, man. Hello, Internet. How's everybody doing?
Yo.
Hi,
Hello,
Pharaoh.
Faeror. Thanks for hanging out.
Unfortunately, yes, I'm back. Ha 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 ha. You cannot get rid of me that easily. If I wasn't here, who would Boston torture with 17 other shows?
That's right. This guy with the thumbs. Oh, man. All right. Are you guys ready to get started?
Yeah.
Sure, I guess. Maybe. I don't know.
Stretch it out.
Who fucking knows at this
right.
point?
All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast, a.k.a. TVGP. I'm your host, Boston Jeremy. As always, returning is Moonpier.
I was going to say, as always, did you forget last week already?
As mostly, Moonpier.
99.999% of the time.
There you go. I like it. Someone will do the math out there, and I appreciate it. And the Imp.
I mean, I still show up.
Yes, that's right. I just work here. But we all work here over at patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers.
You started this. I don't know why you're frowning.
That's right.
We have to keep this up every time you're not here.
Coming home to roost. Yeah.
Hey. For the record, he's the one who started saying the ones and numbers. I'm the one who took over it because I figured it would give him a break.
That's right. I appreciate it.
Look where you got us.
That's right. But we never take a break at releasing incredible audio over on our Patreon page. The $5 a month tier is the recommended one. That gets you everything that we release over there. Anything above and beyond that is greatly appreciated. Go tell your rich friends. None of us are rich, we're millennials, but, you know, we like to joke around here. You can get the exclusive Outcast, which is where we're kind of talking about all the non-video game kind of personal stuff going on in our life. And most importantly this week, Foodcast. So I always want to call that out when we've gotten a preview in the Discord server, discord.tvgp.tv. I'm gonna get the full breakdown there on the Outcast. You also get exclusive. Well, that's uncensored. You also get the exclusive uncensored Critical Misses production meeting. That's a $5 exclusive. Our Moon and I are kind of
short. It's our short production meeting.
Yeah, very, very short. It's like an hour plus. You know,
every time without fail.
We aim for short, and it never does. Delivering value to you. And get that, and the exclusive Patreon Watchcast, The Wayward Sons, where Moon and Nimp are going through Supernatural, the television show. So getting 2 episodes.
We are stupid.
Yeah, you're passionate television fans, really.
We were at the point of what's one more podcast?
Yeah, exactly. What's one more podcast between friends?
It already hurts. I mean,
yeah. What's another cut? And then you also get early access to Critical Misses and We Roguelike It over there. If you want to get those shows a little bit earlier than the public feed, you get all of that. Patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers.
Moon is perishing over there.
No, I had to move my feet because my sprained ankle is not doing well.
My bones. If you want to spend your bones somewhere, merch.tvgp.tv. You can spend it over there in our merchandise store.
That was terrible and great at the same time.
Oh, no. Thank you. Oh, man. All right. Anyways, Moon, what have you been playing these last 2 weeks where you were definitely not driving a whole bunch of time? You could just play video games.
Yes, that's all I did. I had a staycation where I did not go to Rhode Island. I
did
not eat a lobster roll, despite the fact that everyone told me I should.
Yep.
I did not do any of those things. I just stayed home and played Marvel Snap.
Yep. Can't go wrong.
However, not last week, but the week after, like literally an hour and a half after we finished recording,
Oh, no.
I am inevitable.
Did it happen?
It happened. I
Yes.
got infinite.
Yay!
So I finally hit infinite.
Yay!
With a week and change to spare in the season.
Yes.
Nice.
You did it.
And the best thing is, because Conquest mode exists now, I can still do my dailies and not worry about losing rank. Because I haven't played a single rank game since I hit 100.
There you go.
Because I'm going to save that rank and then maybe hit infinite again. Who knows?
Right.
Maybe not.
Yeah, because when you start a new season, you go down 20 or 30 ranks?
30.
30, yeah.
30, I think it is, yes. As
Right.
Pharaoh keeps reminding me every time I talk about it on the show. And I'm sure in chat it will say how many it is shortly. Because we're idiots and we don't know how much it is.
I can't remember something for a month. Please.
I can't remember something for a day, dude, let alone a month.
It's true.
But I know it's Marvel Snap. It is what it is. I have enjoyed my time with it, and I finally hit the 100. I don't know. I'm assuming this is the new season trailer that he's.
What are we even
It
playing
very
right
much
now?
is. I like showing these developer updates from Second Dinner because they are increasingly wild
Ridiculous.
every season.
It's. Yes, Pharaoh. We were talking about the start of a new season. How many ranks you lose? We think it's 30. I think.
Right, because you can't.
I don't know.
Once you hit infinite in a season, you can't really dip down past that in that season, right?
Correct, but I'm pretty sure you could, if you gamble your cubes, you could still go below 100. I think. I don't know.
Okay. Well, you're not going to find out this season.
No, I'm not. I'm never going to find out. If I hit 100 again, guess what I'm going to do? Never play ranked again.
Brush off my hands and be like, I
season.
did it again. All right, let's go.
But apparently, no. You just stay at 100. Interesting.
Nice.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
If that's the case. Let's see. Yeah, so much Marvel Snap. Yeah, weirdly enough, less Marvel Snap. For reasons I will not get into. But yeah, I've been playing all more Marvel Snap and less Marvel Snap at the same time. It's kind of weird. More because of where I was, less because of different situations. And I mean, okay, let's talk about this one. It might make a very good transitional game, but I don't care. I want to talk about Zelda. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm going to put a kibosh on whatever Boston's typing into YouTube right now because I want to talk about Breath of the Wild, baby.
Man, I had the video up.
I know.
Breath of the Wild,
He
long
has to play
play,
it in
enter.
order. Yeah.
Sheesh.
Uh-huh. Got you to retype a whole different long title for a Zelda
There you go.
Because that's the kind of monster I am. So this is a game I have owned for a while. I have started it 3 times now and progressed to a point and then stopped playing it, mostly because at the time I did not have access to a Switch.
Right.
I had access to a Switch, just not my Switch. So therefore, I'm the type of person like, I could really play Breath of the Wild right now, but I'm not going to ask somebody else if I can play their Switch because that's just not who I am.
Well, and it's like, hey, can I borrow your Switch for like 235 hours? Is that cool? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Just a short one.
Just a quick one. So
Yeah.
here is the fun one for you. So obviously I got the Switch. Thank you again. And I was like, okay, so I own Breath of the Wild digitally, so that's fine. I can just sign in, make it my primary console, and play that whenever. I've also got Cadence of Hyrule, so I installed that
Perfect.
too, because why not? So I have a Switch with 2 Zelda games installed on it, and that's it.
Great. I love it.
So I was like, well, I want to buy another game. What's another game, another Nintendo game that I would probably enjoy, and I can buy so I can play it while I'm on vacation? My solution to that was Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, sure.
Probably widely regarded as one of the best Mario games ever made, from everything I hear. It's in the Switch. I not yet hit A on it to start the game yet.
Okay.
Because Breath of the Wild got me. And it got me bad.
All right, here we go.
Like real bad. I've already dealt with the Elephant Divine Beast. I'm 1 or 2 panels away from uncovering the entirety of the map.
Nice.
I have 14 spirit orbs, which I need to trade in because I'm just an idiot who holds on to them rather than get the upgrade, apparently.
Well, you always say, like, oh, next time I hit a town, I'll just swing by there, and they're like, oh, what's that thing over there? Skirt. And then you're off on another adventure.
Yeah, exactly. So, I hate how good this game is.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate how it's not a traditional Zelda game, and it's still so good.
Right.
Like, the things that they did to the franchise as a whole, the core is there. The things you know are there. Not the Korok, but the core. That is there.
The Koroks
There's
are
too
there,
many
too.
of those other things. Too many of those things.
Yeah.
Like, things you know. If you know Zelda, you know the things. You know Zelda. You know the Gorons. You know the Zoras. You know all of this other stuff. And it's all there, but just not as you know it.
Right.
Like, it's really well done to have it all implemented it in such a place. And like, it's like you see the big lake and you're like, gee, I wonder what the name of that lake is.
Right.
You see the big desert and you're like, gee, I wonder what the name of that desert is. Like,
Right.
if you know the franchise, you know what they're going to be called. And that whole experience of doing that is inspired very much by my next game, but it's a survival game. It's not.
Okay.
It's not a platformer. It's not an action adventure game. The Breath of the Wild is a survival game because you have 0 health. You have to work your way up to the point where you can do that. You have obviously you don't have the hunger, stamina. Well, you do have the stamina. You don't have the hunger and thirst and everything else you do in other survival games. But there's still a lot of that in there where it's like, yeah, this is, essentially, Nintendo made a giant open world survival game.
Sure.
And that's kind of my jam. Like, that's kind of way my jam. So I thought I'd like to play the new Zelda, but I'm also a problem for myself because I can't play the new Zelda until I've beat the old Zelda.
Well, and you know that Breath of the Wild isn't bad, so it's not like, oh, why would I play Breath of the Wild when Tears of the Kingdom is like 200% better? That's not really the case. It's like, yeah, Breath of the Wild is great, and Tears of the Kingdom takes that thing and just makes it better.
Yeah.
And because of a situation involving my old Pro Controller, which I need to take apart and declog, we'll say.
Sure.
I've got another controller which I got on sale for like $20, so it's like whatever. It doesn't have motion control, but that's fine. Because who wants to use motion control? Am I right?
Yeah.
But I did have to dig out my little blue nubbin guy again, which is always fun.
Mm.
I just realized that people who have not been listening to the show might not realize what I'm talking about. So, specifically, I'm talking about on the video screen, I have an Xbox controller in my hand, and it's got a little nubbin on the top, which has a blue light.
A little dongle for conversion.
Yes, this is the wireless dongle that can transition an Xbox controller. Don't know about PlayStation 5, but it definitely works with the PS4, and it definitely works with the Switch. And you can literally switch it so that it syncs with all of them.
Right.
So I pulled that bad boy out because that does have motion control in it somehow. I don't know how, but black magic means it does. So when I get to those stupid maze puzzles, I just flip the controller upside down, and then I can do all the motion
maze
control
puzzles.
stuff.
Yep.
That's right. Forgot about those.
I forgot about the memories. Stupid memory photos, too.
And forgot about those.
That was something where I was like, great. Playing it this time, I've learned so much more because I'm paying more attention to it this time because I'm not playing it. I did play most of it on a screen 2 inches from my face.
Right.
But now I have a dock connected to my television where I can play it on my screen and that kind of stuff. So,
and you got your nice controller. You can kind of hang out.
Exactly.
Right.
So I've noticed that, like, the painter guy who hangs out at the stables, he literally tells you where all of those memory photos are.
Oh, sure.
So he's at every stable. You just go to the stable, you talk to the guy who's doing the painting, and then he will tell you where those photos are, as long as you help him with the fairy fountain at the very beginning. It's ridiculous. Like it does so many little things where it is a great example of a game not telling you anything, but telling you everything.
Right. It's like giving you enough of a nudge to figure it out and sort of like winking at you.
Uh-huh. And like the very first thing I did, because I do have the deluxe edition, so I have all of the DLC included in it, including the first thing I did was immediately found and tamed a horse, rode all the way south to where I shouldn't be, so I could go to the one stable to get the hints to get the legendary bridle and saddle. Specifically the saddle, because the saddle is the thing that teleports the horse to you when you call it.
Right.
And it does that fast travel teleportation, because I'm not dealing with no horse that's 17 miles away and won't come to me when I call it.
Just play like how I do and never ride the horse, because it controls
exactly
like trash.
It does control like trash, but at the same time, it's good to get on the horse, stick it on a road, and then go.
That's true.
It's like, okay, this is a long road. I know where I'm going. Just go the way I want you to.
Right.
Yeah, it's... Breath of the Wild might be one of the best video games ever made. Like, it might literally be in that kind of class.
Right.
Especially as a hard left turn from what the franchise lovies would know. Like, here is my biggest problem / non-problem with Breath of the Wild. People saw this, embraced it, played a little bit of it, and fell in love with it. And the amount of crap that Wind Waker got for being cel-shaded and is arguably one of the best Zelda games that exists.
I love Wind Waker.
It might be my favorite. I'm just saying.
Yep.
It's like, why? Where's the disconnect here?
Wind Waker's main problem was that the game didn't have...
sections?
Well, it didn't have you stop and do the Triforce stuff often enough. So people would be like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go do the main story. And then at the end of the game, it's like, you have to do all of these now to finish the game. And people are like, this is garbage. It's like, well,
yeah.
No, it's just you needed to do it all along.
Yeah, that was probably its biggest failing.
Yeah.
And it was arguably a bit too long.
Yeah.
Same could be said about this one, to be honest.
Yep.
I'm not going to 100% it. I know I'm not going to 100% it, because who 100% this is crazy.
So much content.
Because minor spoiler alert, there aren't achievements, so of course I'm not going to do it. Why would I do it? I want to get the Divine Beasts, do a whole bunch of exploring, and then I want to get to Ganon and kill him so I can spend another $70 on the next one, and then immediately get bored of it for about another 4 years.
Right. It's a perfect plan.
Oh, yeah. And in the meantime, I've got Super Mario Odyssey, so I can bounce off a hat.
Right.
Who knows? But I've been a bad boy.
Oh, yeah?
You know I've been a bad boy because of my next game. Because I've been grounded.
I'm leaving.
Did you find your book?
That's right. No, don't remind him.
It's still around here. It's around here somewhere.
I don't have to remind him. I know who he is. He knows where it's at vaguely. He's just not going to look for it right now.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's in vaguely this area somewhere.
Yeah. Right.
Ow!
It's been within you the entire time.
Yes. I am the book. Yeah, so... Survival games. I said they're my jam. I have a problem with survival games, and that problem is I like them too much.
Right.
You care too
and
much.
That super... The super duper problem with it is they're all time sinks. Every single one of them is a time sink. And Grounded might be one of the best 5 games I've played. It's stupid how good it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's unreal how much I have enjoyed playing this game. I've been playing it pretty much on and off with friend of the show Rob, who's been jumping in to help me whenever we're online together. And we did this whole thing where he and I were playing on, I think before I left. We played a little bit, and then I didn't speak to him for a day or two, or like I think we played on a Friday, then I was at work for the week, and then I played with him on the Friday or Saturday before I left. And in that time, he jumped into the game and was like, holy crap, you have been playing a lot, because our base went from 2 beds in a hole to a 2-story house.
Nice.
What did you come back and you got like this whole science scene going on here? You got like a
the Metropolis
skyscraper, and yeah.
So I haven't played with him for a while, and I hope he does get to jump in before listening to this episode. But our 2-bedroom house has now turned into... Oh, sorry, 2-floor house has now turned into a 3-floor house with a courtyard and a fence and an entrance gate and a specific designated area in the courtyard for the different things that you can create and use and so on and so forth. And there are more plans afoot. I'm not going to say what the plans are, but I have a thing in my brain where I want to do this thing.
Interesting.
So the best part about this for me and him is we both like different things when it comes to survival games. And I was this way with Minecraft when it first came out. I was this way with every survival game I've played that has a construction element to it. I will stop playing the game and start playing the build a mansion game instead.
Right.
So I will not do any of the main objectives. All I'm interested in is building the best house I can, and then right when I'm finished, I think of 2 improvements, and then I have to build those immediately because they're improvements to the house.
Well, the east wing has to come down because architecturally it's unsound. Please.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We've got these that we have to figure out.
That's right.
Exactly, and then it's a video game, and it has an uneven surface, so it's one of those things where you place the house down, and then as you're expanding it out, suddenly there's a bit of clipping as the floor, the in-game floor, comes to the building floor.
Unacceptable.
So, like, you got a flat surface with a little bit of dirt coming out of the top of it. So, therefore, the whole house needs to be relocated to a different location where there is no dirt clipping through the floor because it's ruining my aesthetics.
You can't flatten out the ground or anything?
No.
Oh man, No Man's Sky had that set up.
I was just about to say like
so
that.
Nicely.
No Man's Sky's better. Let's go.
Let me tell you, boys, about a little game called Space Engineers, which is a different survival game.
Absolutely not.
Let me tell you about a game called Astroneer. Whoops, I brought it up. Someone's installing it.
Let me introduce you to my wife, who says no. Shut up.
Another survival game I got every achievement in because I could. Same with No Man's Sky, because I could. Like, I am that kind of monster. Like, I can't help it. They tickle the right centers of my brain.
It is really weird, though, because everything that you've talked about, and I've heard other people talk about this game, it seems like that would have been something implemented already.
Well, I think because the problem is there's a lot of systems of playing this game, like a lot of systems. And I think if you were to build a deformation tool into it, I think that might break it a little bit too much, because then you could just deform everything and level the whole backyard out, where part of it is tunnels and things like that. Like the one thing I will say about this game is it's not procedurally generated, so the backyard is essentially a similar layout to how it always is. Like Rob knows his way around this without directions. Like he'll be standing somewhere and he'll be like, okay, so we need bombardier beetle parts. Where are they? And he'll look at the sky, see the house where the house is located, and go, and then he'll turn around and go this way, and he'll just run in a straight line to where
3
the
clicks due east.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
What? Like, dude. My favorite thing about it is if you put a waypoint down, it measures it in centimeters. It tells you in centimeters.
That's really good.
A man's out there with a sundial measuring the length of shadows. Being
It's unreal how great this game is. And I haven't even scratched half of the garden. I'm still in the basic area. Like,
Right.
I'm only just at like tier 2 items. I'm still trying to get enough materials to get both me and Rob tier 2 equipment, essentially. Still haven't killed a wolf spider. Probably should, but those things are nasty and big, and they scare the ever-loving crap out of me because I have a problem with spiders.
Right.
And I literally can't put into words how beautiful this thing is. Like, with its light and the HDR and everything else that it's got in there. Like, I'm pretty sure it must have ray tracing at this point, because like when I'm in the house, our house is a grass house, so it's made from grass planks, which, here's how dumb and how well thought out they are. If you get a full set of red ant armor, so the ant, it looks like a samurai outfit. It's got the samurai helmet.
Nice.
You can go into the red ant hive and they won't attack you because you look like one of them.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
But the set perk for the ant armor is you can carry more stuff.
Oh, that's pretty good.
As it should.
I like that.
So
you get
so,
power
like,
armor, basically.
So like I'm running around and like, because I need a lot of grass and a lot of weeds to build my house because the weeds perform the frames. So you can carry 6 planks at a time, essentially 6 grass planks. With the red ant armor and some other buff I had on, I think I was carrying 19. So it's this tiny little kid with this huge stack of like grass planks just running through the garden to build his house, kind of dumbness. But like, because it's made of those grass planks, when the sun rises and sets, you could see the beams of light hitting the grass and diffracting the light in different ways depending on where it hits the grass. Like, it's so beautiful. Like, it's literally God raised the game, because the sun comes up and it's shining through grass, and all of the grass is essentially skyscrapers.
Right.
So it's just beams of light coming through the skyscrapers, and it's cool as hell to play. It still scares me. You'll hear a random insect noise, you'll turn around, and you'll see 6 legs, 8 legs, 12 legs, 100 legs. It doesn't matter how many legs you see, but you'll see a bunch of legs and red eyes, and you panic because it's a giant bug. And it's the depth of it is insane. Like, there's a permanent perk system now where if you destroy these teeth, literal teeth, they're called milk molars, so they're actual teeth, and you destroy the teeth, and inside is an upgrade thing which gives you permanent perks. So more health, more armor, more damage.
Oh, nice.
Or carrying stuff. It's just like, guys, like, why?
There's so much good stuff in here.
Like, it's so cool, and pretty much everything regenerates. So like right now, I'm at a point where I need a bunch of berries. So the berries are all in the hedge. The hedge is a platformy type thing. So all I did was went into the hedge first thing in the morning with a bow and arrow, shot down all the berries, which hit the floor. Then you break them up and harvest the remains. And then you take that back to your base. And because you're an idiot, you put them on the drying rack. And the drying rack turns the berries into berry leather.
Ah.
Okay.
But because you could do it yourself at a workstation, but it costs like 3 berries for 1 piece of berry leather. Whereas if you have a drying rack, it's 1 for 1. It just takes time for it to do it.
Gotcha.
So now, not only am I building the base, I'm maximizing the efficiency of the base.
Right.
Because if I can't do it in my real life, I'm sure as hell gonna do it in a video game.
That's right.
Like, I don't know, just the whole vibe of this game is like, it's super chilled with a dark undercurrent, and like, no joke intended with the currants and berries situation there.
Heyo.
But like, it's like, it gives you objectives, and it's like, okay, go do this objective with very little guidance on how to do it. You can't ask the robot will help. The burger flipping robot, by the way.
And
you
got your own Mr. Handy in the game?
Yeah.
He literally has a spatula for a hand. It's
nice.
Ridiculous.
That's good.
Well, like, I'm getting this story, and like, I'm figuring out why all of the kids have been shrunken down by an evil corporation, and exploring the weird labs. I'm currently exploring the underwater laboratory, which is in a pond just a pond.
Great.
Let me tell you, water lava and like paddle boatmen have never seemed so scary.
Yeah.
Like, it's tadpoles are huge, like the size of cows,
That's great.
and there's a giant fish in there that will eat you.
Oh, grounded. You're
I
great.
hate underwater.
Yeah.
It's shocking how much fun I'm having with this game. And of course, I found out that they have little, the wooden armor stands you can get in like RPG kind of games.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
You have them
You
in
can
this
build your
too,
own
except
now.
they're made up of acorns, because why would they be made of wood?
Perfect.
And that's like your armor stands. But the best thing is you can put a full set on it, walk up to it, and if you just hold X, you throw what you're currently wearing on the stand and equip that to yourself. So if you have a bunch of sets for different purposes, you could do a quick swap out with just like a holdable
Oh, it
button.
swaps the whole set? Oh, that's really nice.
The whole set.
Cool.
You hear that,
It's-
Zelda? That's what we need.
It's a loadout system
That's
without
great.
a loadout system, because it has mutation loadouts, which is like extra health, extra stamina. You've killed X number of ants, so now you're really good at killing ants. Like, it has these mutation loadouts that you can do, and you could swap them at will. So like, when I'm running around with Rob, I have my critical hit and my health mutation on. When I'm building stuff, I have my hauling bonus and grass killer bonus, because I've killed so much grass. I'm really good at killing grass now, apparently.
Nice.
So like, you just switch them on the fly, and it just doesn't cost you anything. You just do it. I hate how much I love this game. I genuinely hate how much I love this game. Like,
Right.
I have other games to get back to and other games to play. So many other games to play. I have a hard drive full of games to play, and instead I'm playing this game, the 600-hour survival game, because why not?
That's right.
Because I need to kill a mosquito and then make a life-stealing sword from its mouth because it's a mosquito.
That's really clever. Curses.
It's stupid how appropriate everything is in this game.
Right.
I almost want to
And-
play it just for that sword.
Yeah.
Dude, it's ridiculous. And then it's terrifying when you get one of them aggroed on you, because they're fast and they're in
I was
the
gonna
air.
say, are they fast and agile?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
They will swing around you so quick. It's, I don't know, man. It's just, everything about this feels like it has heart right in the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes perfect sense, because I'm pretty sure it's an Obsidian game.
Yeah.
And it's like, of all the people who would make this kind of game, like, they have put just the right amount of heart into it, with the right amount of everything. And on the video right now that Boston's playing on the video version, that's the pond.
Oh,
It's
boy.
just a pond.
Yep.
It is horrifying.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like, if you haven't played Grounded and you have Game Pass, it's a perfect excuse to play Grounded, because it's free with Game Pass and it's genuinely a quality game. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. Grounded survival games aplenty is what I'm learning.
Heck yeah. Oh, all right. For me, Tuesday night, we played Battlefront 2. Star Wars Battlefront 2, sorry.
Oh, there you go.
On the Xbox, because Feyroy was joining us, and we were having a very difficult time getting into a game for some reason.
Huh.
I set it up so that we would just go into any game, anything that was waiting or anything that was active, like just get us into it. And we sat there for like a pretty long time before it finally kicked us into. And we were having a weird issue with this too. It would kick like one of us, where I would be able to get in with like Angel Eye, but then Pharaoh wasn't there. And then the next
weird.
time, so we would get out, we would double check that we were all in the party. It's like, okay, we're good. Have it pick a game again. It would bring us in, and then it would just be me and Pharaoh. Angel Eye wasn't there. So then we'd get back. I swear we did this like 3 or 4 times.
That's weird.
And then I got out of the game. Angel Eye rebooted his Xbox, and somehow it started working just fine. So I don't know what the disconnect on that was, but
Yeah.
So once we finally got into an actual game, we were noticing that it was only throwing us in like the co-op arcade stuff. Like it wasn't putting us in actual like supremacy or anything like that, which is fine. So then it was just the three of us against a bunch of bots, and those bots were hard.
Oh,
like really difficult. I don't know what was going on, and we were all starting fresh because Angela and I were playing on PS5, and there's no movement of stuff, so we're basically playing like brand new. So we would keep getting like the stupid little ATSTs, the little chicken walkers, like on Hoth. Like we would finally take one down, and then it would just spawn another one. And it's like,
geez.
come on, guys. So I was playing as a sniper for the most part, and I would just keep shooting the thing, and we would keep taking them down, and they keep respawning, and then we would start running into like hero characters, where in the original Battlefront games, we're pretty positive they used to have a timer on them where you could only play as a hero character for like 5-10 minutes or something, and then it would force you to go back into a regular character.
Right.
This game doesn't do that. If you don't kill that hero character, that person will stay a hero character that entire match.
Oh,
and we
wow.
will get into that later. But so we played a couple. Yeah, we played a couple co-op matches, and we were getting our feet wet again. And then it finally put us into a supremacy match. It's like, all right, cool. We can finally play, the big, 64 on 64 kind of thing. And we just could not pull a win all night. It started out where once we finally got into actual matches, it would keep repopulating us, but it wouldn't change the teams at all. So we were losing because we were playing against better opponents, and then our team kept having people drop out. So instead of it being like 32 on 32, it was like 20 against 32 or, whatever.
Right.
So we were constantly at a disadvantage on top of the other team just being that good. So after a while, it just turned into us just like not even trying. Like we were still playing and having fun.
Yeah.
We just were going into it knowing full well that we were going to lose that match for the most part. So we were just sitting there talking, shooting the S. We were talking about wanting to do Ewok Hunt because Pharaoh didn't know that you could play like one of the hero classes an Ewok.
Oh, okay.
And they did not know that you could play as that. It's like, oh yeah, there's like the whole Ewok Hunt thing that we could try. But I was like, I don't know, we can't even get into a normal match, so I doubt we'd be able to get into one of those right now. Right. So we didn't give it a shot yet, but hopefully the next time we do, we can. But the biggest thing coming back to the hero classes, there was one particular person whose name was Rico and like a bunch of numbers. And this guy was constantly MVP for 3-4 matches straight.
Jeez.
And all he played was hero classes. As soon as he can unlock one, he would play it. And he had maxed out for every character or class that you play, you have like little cards that you can equip, and then you can upgrade the cards. This guy had like maxed out cards for like Luke Skywalker.
Jeez.
And we just could not do anything against that guy.
Oh, boy.
So he would play as Luke Skywalker for the full 20-minute match.
Jeez.
And there was just nothing that could happen. We're playing with like headphones in. And you hear a lightsaber fire or activate. You're like, is that one of ours, or is that the other guy? Yeah. And then you would see the green lightsaber come around the corner. Like, come on, man! I just spawned.
Rico, no.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. It was just every once in a while, it's just like any other shooter. It's like you get into this mode where it's like no matter what you do, you can't win, and then you get a little discouraged, but. It's a lot better when you got people to talk to, because then you can just sit there and be like, oh, this idiot's here again, and now we're being spawn camped, and I don't know what's happening anymore.
I got a Rico in Sector 4.
Yeah. I don't know what we're going to play this week. We might play it again. I don't know. But we've just kind of been bouncing around on Tuesday nights. We don't ever have a plan.
That's the best way of doing it, where it's like, hey, what's everyone want to play? All right.
Yeah, we try. I know last time when we decided on playing Battlefront 2, I was like, all right, let's make a decision, like, the weekend before. That way we can make sure everyone has it installed. That way we're not showing up Tuesday and be like, oh, let's get this installed now. This 80 gig game.
Right.
Yeah. So let's play this game. Wait, none of us have it installed. Problem.
Right.
Exactly. It's like I have no issues playing anything. Let's just kind of try to be a little prepared.
I need a little bit of time.
Yeah. The next game that I played Exoprimal.
Yeah.
I want to say maxed out, but that's not true. I got my Deadeye to level 20, and this is when I found out that each of the armors can go up to level 100.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't look like you get anything if you continue past 20.
Bragging
at
rights,
least for the
probably?
Deadeye. Yeah, I mean, you get like a little emblem. Like, I got a new emblem because I got Deadeye to 20, so he's got like a gold background if I equip
Oh,
that.
sure.
And that's how I know that it can go up to 100, because it's like, hey, every 10 levels you get a new emblem, and I'm like, I don't care. So
Not my thing, man.
yeah, so I've got Deadeye up to level 20. I was like, cool, now I can switch over. So now I'm playing the tank class of Krieger. So it's got the big Gatling gun. I knew absolutely nothing about this. And the first mission that it throws me in, it's a brand new map for me. I haven't done before. It's like an oil rig thing or something.
Okay.
And you have to jump on top of this crate to jump onto another crate to get, to follow the wayfinder. And the Krieger unit does not jump very high.
Right.
And so I'm sitting here jumping, and I cannot get on top of the crate. And the thing with Deadeye is it jumps higher, but it'll also, if you get it to a lip, Deadeye will grab the ledge and pull itself up.
Mm.
Krieger does not. It is a tank.
No.
Krieger does not move. So I am stuck here trying to figure out, how do I get up here? Like, I have to go this way. There has to be a way.
Right.
That's when I find out that because of how thick Krieger is, it has a double jump, which allows it to get normal height.
All right.
And if you hold the jump button after the double jump, it also floats for like 3-4 seconds, whatever, before it comes crashing down to the ground again. So I'm like, all right, cool. All right, I can get behind that. So then I was trying to figure out the Gatling gun. The Gatling gun has unlimited ammo. The only thing you have to worry about is it has a heat bar that it's constantly filling as you use it.
Gotcha.
So I didn't realize at first, because with the Gatling gun, there's no aiming down sights at all. It's just you have a dot in the middle. When you start shooting, it engages a circle, and that circle gets bigger until it gets to its maximum size, and then you're just shooting anywhere within that circle. I did not realize for the first couple of minutes of this match that I could increase how much of the heat it vents out. If you hit the reload button, which is X on the Xbox, it just shoots out this vent and it decreases the heat all the way down.
Oh, wow.
It still takes like a second or two to fully deplete it from all the way, but it's faster than what I was doing, which was waiting for it to naturally cool down, which does not happen quickly in this game. So I'm like, this armor sucks. I can't shoot anything.
I can't do anything. What the heck?
Yeah. And then I realized that, and I'm like, oh, that makes tons of sense now.
This suit's cool.
So then I was trying to figure out, it's like, okay, when I hold because I did no research on this, on any of these armors. Yeah. I just wanted to play the Krieger one because it has a Gatling gun and I've got like all this stupid stuff for it.
Right.
So I was trying to figure out, it's like, okay, so I can't aim down sights like I could with dead aim, but when I hold down the left trigger, like this half square shows up in my firing field.
Okay.
Like, what is this thing? And it doesn't do anything that I noticed. It turns out it's a missile lock system.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
It does not lock onto small dinosaurs, it seems like. It only locks onto the ones that have, like, health bars attached to them.
Okay, like your Pachycephalosauruses.
Yeah. God, you just love that.
I really do.
So anything pretty, as far as I can tell right now, and without adding any, like, modifications or anything to the armor, it looks like anything with a health bar, it will lock onto, and it looks like it can lock onto like 3 or 5 times on just a single enemy.
Wow, okay.
And when you let it go, it's like the Weasel unit thing where you see like a bunch of hatches open up and then missiles just go.
Great.
And it is fantastic. And it only has like a 14-second cooldown.
Wow.
But man, we fought a T-Rex and I dropped like a quarter of its health on just that attack. Like, oh, I am loving this thing now.
The thing I always forget about this game is there is a button, I think on the D-pad, you can hold to have a menu pop up that shows like what all the buttons do for each suit.
Yeah, I think it's the right D-pad. I found that by accident because I was just pushing buttons.
I never remember it in the game, like, until someone points it out, and it's like, oh, yeah, right, that would have been useful anyways.
Well, and on the bottom right, it shows you, what button does what. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you do have that to go off of, too. And the thing that you were talking about gives you, like, an actual in-depth explanation of, hey, if you do this, this is what it does kind of thing. Which, I'm a man. I don't read manuals. No.
Almost.
Which is why I'm running around in this giant suit not knowing what I'm supposed to be doing. But anyway, the other thing that it does is it also has, like, a dome shield that it can drop.
Okay.
And then, I think that's it. I'm trying to remember. And then it's ultimate. I'm not 100% sure what its ultimate does, but when I get the full charge all the way up to 100%, it basically jumps up in the air and floats there, and you have like this little icon that you just press it and it locks something down there. And then it looks like it opens up like a circular field, and anything in that field gets attacked by the ultimate. It's like it's raining down something.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll look into it one day. But this thing does like massive amounts of damage, and like I said, fighting a T-Rex was really fun. That's usually something that any of the bigger ones, I usually had an issue with Deadeye, because it's like I'm doing like 1 or 2 points of damage, and then when I hit the soft spot, it's like I'm doing 25.
Right.
The Gatling gun, I'm doing like 5 points of damage, but I'm throwing down so many slugs downfield that I'm doing 5 a hit. And I'm hitting it like 100 times in a second. So it's just watching that bar just drain. And then we fought our first Neo T-Rex.
Oh, here we go.
And this thing was cool. I won't get into the whole story aspect of it, but the cool thing about this particular fight was after you get the introduction and you get told what's happening and you see what's happening, you all of a sudden realize that, hey, we are no longer playing PvE. All of a sudden, both teams are on the same exact side.
Yeah, and you're doing like a raid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was really sweet. And then we fought the Neo T-Rex, which then turned into a whole stupid thing of, I'm not sure what's happening. There's neon lights everywhere. This thing is barfing on the ground, and it's causing tons of damage to all of us. It sucked, but it was cool to see it change that much. I'm really enjoying the Krieger class. I actually kind of giggled a little bit every time I shoot off missiles, because it just makes me the happiest kind of person ever. I am currently at, what was it, like 50? Let me look at my notes. Yeah, 55% progress for the career mode thing. So we're learning more about what's happening with Leviathan. Leviathan seems to be controlled by something that we're not 100% positive on what's going on right now. So
interesting.
Yeah, so it's been fun. It is my favorite kind of shut my brain off and play game, because that's all I could really seem to handle this week. So
hey, ditto.
Yeah. Moving on to my last game, which I could not play a whole lot of. And this is the one that I was waiting for Moon to come back, so that way he couldn't just skip it in his car. So, my last game was Atelier Ryza 3, Alchemist of the End and Secrets.
There you go.
Of course.
Welcome back, Moon.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm like 2, maybe 3 hours into this. I'm not terribly far into it. Every time it comes up with the crafting, I'm like, yes, this is what I'm looking for. And then my brain is quietly like, I can't absorb any more knowledge right now. You need to stop.
Right.
You just can't think straight with this right now. So this game starts a year after the second game.
Okay.
You are back on the island that you started on in the first game. It's basically everyone's like home island.
Right.
Kirkland, I believe, is what it's called. So far, what has happened is the people, your friends from the first game, have come back to the island because they're on summer vacation. there were new ruins that they were supposed to be checking out, and then all of a sudden, all these new islands just showed up out of nowhere around your current island.
Okay.
So now your objective is to go check out these new islands, see what's going on. The current island that is your home island is actually, it's in the water, but it's not a natural island. It was a man-made island, or it was a made island. It could be man, we don't know. It's one of those things where it's like it happened thousands of years ago.
It's
and
a
blah, blah,
JRPG,
blah.
so it's probably like an Eldritch
Yeah,
God.
exactly. The people of fantasy created it or something,
That's right.
whatever.
The power of friendship.
So the thing that keeps your island afloat is an ancient mechanical system that is that prevents that island from sinking. Now that all these other islands have shown up, it's throwing off the ancient machinery on your home island. So you get like a bunch of earthquakes and stuff that happens. So now you have to investigate these and figure out, okay, what's causing this interference, what's happening, and how can it be stopped?
Right.
In the meantime, you start getting like these just little requests at first. I haven't done a whole lot of them, but it's like, hey, so-and-so needs you to make, like what it said on the screen, grass beans, healing item. All right, cool. I jump in there and I make them because the recipe hasn't changed that much. The whole creating in this game, it's not terribly different from the second one. There are some new changes, but it's basically the same. If you played the first one, it's you can figure it out rather quickly.
Sure.
So I've started getting into the crafting some. I now have created enough healing items so that way I can use them in battle. Everyone has some sort of bomb that they can call on if they need it. And I've just started exploring a little bit. The cool thing with because this kind of feels like in the beginning, this kind of feels like, okay, we're all getting the gang back together and we're reminiscing about all the stuff that we did in the past. There's a specific call out where you go into this area and you get there and they're like, hey, remember when this used to be like an issue for us? And then you kind of think about, yeah, I just ran all the way here. And in the first game, this was like a mid-game objective to try to get to this area.
Oh, right.
And here I'm just like showing up and it's like no issue whatsoever. So you get a lot of that back and forth and a lot of them talking about how, everything used to be. And it's like, all right, cool. They're wrapping it up because this is going to be the last one for the Ryza trilogy.
Right.
So you're getting that story plot. You're getting this new thing. The keys are like the new thing in this. I just unlocked it, and I'm not 100% sure what's going on with it. But at some point, Ryza all of a sudden gets in her head a recipe that she needs to make, and then she just creates this key, which actually is in the video right now. Yeah.
All right.
And you don't know why, and you don't know what it does. And I just got to a point where landmarks within this game, you can fast travel to all the landmarks that you find from the map. Now they have added it that every landmark is starting to hold energy for some reason. And you can use that energy to make keys. And these keys can give you buffs or like passives that you can use in battle or in the field. And you can use them a set amount of time before you have to recreate the key or refill it or whatever. So as you're running around, all the landmarks that you've unlocked are slowly regaining energy, so that way you can slowly create all these different keys that you can use.
Oh, interesting.
I have I have one so far. So it's
right.
And it does, I think it's a buff. It buffs my attack, like my party's attacks or something. I can use it in battle. So outside of that, I don't know what else it can do. The tutorial for it was talking about how there are like keys for battles and there's keys for like passive skills in the field. So I'm guessing like you can collect more items or better quality items or stuff. I don't know.
Right.
It seems like it could be interesting, but I can't, like, just looking at the screen right now, like, these are all items that you've created in the game of the past, like the sickle and all that stuff that you use for harvesting certain things. I can't get my mind to work with the different trajectories that you can take the recipes to get the items into.
Right.
Like I said before, it's not that they've changed it. My mind just is refusing to process information.
The mind
right
rejects
now.
it.
Yeah, so I'm trying to jump into this game. It's like play it like 20 minutes, an hour at the most, to just try to slowly get back into it, because I want to start min-maxing stuff, which I can't do yet because I'm not far enough along.
Oh, right.
but the rest of me does not want to start min-maxing stuff
Right.
because that takes a lot of time and effort. So,
Right.
But yeah, it's been interesting and enjoyable so far, and I hope it continues. And I don't want to skip it right now,
Right.
because I feel like if I stop playing it right now, I'm not going to get back to it right now.
Yeah.
And I feel bad about it, because I was really looking forward to this game, and mentally I am just not in a spot to play this game right now.
Yeah.
So, I do have one more brief game that I touched and this will be my last game. I touched even less than Atelier, and that is Tokyo Ghostwire.
Oh, okay.
My son has said that he has almost beaten it and that I can start playing it. I'm like, all right, cool. Told him not to spoil anything for me. I have now I've received the bow now. That's how far I am in the game.
Oh, okay.
In the beginning, you're supposed to go into like this hospital, and it's supposed to be like a tutorial area of, hey, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. This is how you stealth. Very specifically with the stealth portion, I did not do anything stealth-wise. Because I saw it pop
so you did
up
it the right way.
Yeah, I saw it pop up. Basically, you walk across like this little bridge on the second or third floor of the hospital, and in like this nurse's station, there's one of those like umbrella yokai people.
Yep.
And there's like, I couldn't see behind them, but I saw something else moving behind them, and I was like, all right, let me just hit the umbrella person and get their attention. And I hit them, and that aggroed everything in that office.
Yeah, there you go.
So I go from fighting one thing to fighting like 3 or 4 things.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm like backing up across this bridge so that they've got a narrow path to come at me, and my son's like, that whole section was supposed to be a stealth section.
Not for me. Pew, 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 pew,
yeah,
pew.
I'm like, I don't care. And exactly, yeah, I just start shooting, and I unlock the charge ability for the wind attack that you have.
Right.
So you charge it, and it shoots off like the homing missile kind of things or whatever. So I was doing that quite a lot. I upgraded I forget what they call it. When you rip out the core from range, that is a very useful upgrade, because you go from waiting for that dial to like slowly load to all of a sudden that thing's like halfway filled just hitting it. So I take out the umbrella guy, and then the two, this feels weird to say, but the 2 little schoolgirls that start coming after me, they're headless schoolgirl uniform
It's fine
thing.
because they're creepy as hell.
Yep.
They absolutely are.
And
I
also,
take them out.
Never have finger guns be more appropriate, by the way.
I take them out, and then I'm like, all right, cool. Stealth area cleared, as it should be. Continue on to the next area, and then I start hearing like weird noises. I'm like, cool, that's par for the course with this game.
Yep.
You start getting like weird flashbacks or something. There's like fire randomly. You find your sister's room, and then you come across the guy with the mask that is on, the thing
The
of the
bad
game.
guy.
Yeah, and then they go into a whole thing, and they start talking about, this game feels like a JRPG, man. The moon is waxing and the time is right, and
That's right.
So, yeah.
The maker is approaching. It's like, what are we
Exactly.
doing?
And we're like, so, what's going on?
What Boston's reading.
That's,
Yeah.
that's right.
But then that's when you start to learn more about your body being kind of taken over by a ghost, and you learn more about that ghost and what happened with them.
Right.
And then that will eventually lead you to their apartment, which then you get the bow, and then it turns into a cool puzzle game where there's a barrier that's going to do something. I didn't realize I was being timed. Which
right.
didn't matter because I beat it before the timer went out. But you start going into these apartments because you're looking for like these certain things that you like, these key points that you have to blow up to bring down the barrier. So once you get into an apartment, it looks normal, and then you open like the next door, and the whole apartment is like on its side or upside down, or there's like this demon tree or something that you have to crawl under.
Oh, it's so good.
This is really awesome, and that's when my son told me, hey, because I'm like looking around, I'm like checking things out. I was like, man, this looks really cool and all this stuff, and my son's like, you're being timed.
Oh God, gotta go.
Yeah.
The good news is, there's a switch for that in the options where you don't have to worry about time limits.
Oh, that's
really?
true. Yeah.
Okay, I'll check that out too. I do see. In fact, it just happened in the video. I do remember your comment about who uses a phone like that when I did my first phone booth thing, and I'm like,
dials the numbers like.
It does like this weird claw thing with it.
It's
what is
very
going
weird.
on? So I can now hear dogs.
Perfect.
I can now hear cats.
Yeah.
I can now feed dogs, which now give me items.
Yep.
I realized that the little paper doll things that you get for capturing and releasing spirits, I realized that you don't just get a spirit for doing that. You usually get like 10, 20, or 100, depending.
Yep.
Because I know when I turned in my last one, it's like, oh, you've got 500 spirits. And I'm like, I did not do this 500 times. What's going on? But yeah, it's been pretty fun. I did get kind of into a weird area where I jumped into an alley I fell into an alley that was like really far down, and I couldn't get out for a while because there was fog on one end and a tall wall on the other end from where I dropped down from. So then I kind of had to like cheese the game's physics a little bit to get back up and out of there.
Oh, sure.
So that was cool. But yeah, and in this game, fog will hurt you, and I've run into fog several times thinking that's not fog, and then no, it is. I need to turn around now. So
KK is like, get out of there now, go.
Yep. I also came across my 2 shops now with the little Neko gods in them, which I find hilarious.
Yep.
And yeah, so far it's been fun. I want to play more of that too, but again, my mind is not willing to disseminate new information right now. And I've already had one slight jump scare where I heard something, didn't see anything, turned back around, and it's right there attacking me.
Great.
Like,
yeah, if anyone wanted to play Ghostwire Tokyo, I think it's still on Game Pass and PS Plus. Yep. We did a really good episode of Game Club about it. So go play Ghostwire Tokyo. It's really good.
I've wanted to check it out for a while now, and like I said, I was just kind of waiting for my son, and he's on the end of chapter 3, I think, because it's not a very long game.
No,
I think it's like what, 10 hours, 10, 12 hours. Well, if you go for all the achievements, no, but I mean just beating the story.
It's a weird game because like chapter 1 is short, chapter 2 or 3 are incredibly long, and then it's like 4, 5, 6, 7, go, and then it kind of like all wraps up all at once.
Okay.
It's odd.
I did also have to change my control speeds and stuff like that a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
11 hours, by the way, main story.
Okay.
That's about right. Yeah.
I mostly just turned everything down to around 50 for, what was it? There was like the dead zone, there was like the sensitivity, there was like the speed up look or whatever they called it.
Yeah.
I dropped all that down to 50, and it felt way more manageable because otherwise you were looking way too fast everywhere.
It's wild.
It was a bad day. So, but yeah, that is all I've been playing this week.
I only have a couple of kind of short ones here. I played more Diablo 4. I'm also in I'm not really in the mood to play much this week, which leads me into my next game. But Diablo 4, I'm moving along through the story here. I'm about to finish Act 4. It's one of those things where like Act 4 starts by help this person and help this person. I've helped both of those people up until the end of their quest lines. And then it's like, okay, now go meet both of them at this other location. It's like, all right, that's probably going to be... I'm probably going to go beat a boss, and then that'll be the end of Chapter 4. And then I'll have 2 more chapters there. This is my Barbarian playthrough. I'm having fun. Like, the story so far is fine. It's kind of like a Diablo story. I'm not that invested in it, but what it's telling is fine. So
there's a big baddie you need to take out.
Yeah, and like I think the kind of twists and turns it takes throughout the story feels pretty good. And I think there's some stuff in there about like why the villain is doing what they're doing, and I think that stuff so far has been pretty good. But I'm having fun with it. I'm in the mood this week for stuff where I'm just like clicking on enemies and they die. I'm not looking for min-maxing my stats and equipping all this stuff. I'm still like, oh, this gear has a green up arrow. Equipping that. Thanks.
I don't want to break out a mathematical equation and make sure I'm eking
Right.
out the most DPS imaginable in this area.
Yeah, you won't be surprised. I didn't really play Triangle Strategy this week. Shocker. So Diablo 4 is still great. I'm kind of just continuing to motor through this so I can check out the seasonal stuff, because I really want to check out that stuff and see how that works. But there's only so many hours in the day, so playing that as much as I really can. Still enjoying it. Two thumbs up. I like it. I struggled this week to find, because I am very much in the same place too, where my brain isn't firing at all cylinders, but I want to play something, but I need something that's kind of not mindless, but something that I don't need to do that heavy lifting for.
Yeah.
So I fired up Vampire Survivors.
Heck yeah.
Which is pretty much the exact thing I was looking for, and I forgot.
Is there a new update?
No, but I forgot I hadn't
okay.
checked out the 2 DLC packs. So I'm like, well, let's spend the $2 a piece to pick up both of those bad boys. So I've been
economy?
It's right. Well, no, I have Game Pass, so I get 10% off. So they're $1.79, which is a great deal. But this isn't treading new ground here, but both of the 2 primary new maps are really good. We've talked about it before, but I like the traditional Vampire Survivors maps of just, it's an endless thing. You're just going forever. There's stuff on the map, of course, but you're just kind of pick a direction and start going. But I do really like these new maps of having a distinct design to them, and having sections, and having mechanics in those sections, and having bosses spawn in certain areas and being able to do things. Having a detailed map of the area being the first thing you pick up is kind of interesting. So it's cool. I like that there's a different approach to Vampire Survivors in these. There's a bunch of course, there's like 8 new characters and 16 new weapons and 10 new maps and kind of the regular
different
Vampire Survivor stuff.
And evolutions. Yeah.
I think the only thing I've used so far that I haven't really been crazy about is the kimono weapon.
Yeah.
That one's, it's fine, but it's a little weird. It makes more sense when paired with that character, because her mechanic is that she ignores cooldowns while you're walking, but if you're standing still, your character kind of
doesn't get used.
Yeah, like it doesn't do anything, which is interesting, but kind of late game it makes it a little bit odd. So I'm going through, like, there's 190 achievements now, so I'm just going through the unlocks menu of, like, I think I had like, I think when I ended playing, it was like 138, something like that. So I'm going through all those. You finish a run, and it's like, good job, you just unlocked 6 achievements. It's like, all right, cool, thanks.
Yep.
I did unlock Bat Country, the map, which you do fight
bats.
Yeah, like you do fight a whole bunch of bats, but also it's a quote unquote not the Sonic the Hedgehog level, which is really great. You're definitely collecting not Chaos Emeralds. This game is wild and dumb in the best ways, and it is exactly what I needed right now. And the DLC seems really good. I know they have the big patch coming out on the 17th. When it comes to Switch, that's when the new engine comes out. Apparently, it is very good. I also
like co-op and stuff too.
Couch co-op,
yeah.
So I also spent some time this week, and I sat down to watch the No Clip documentary of the making of Vampire Survivors.
Watch that still, yeah.
It's really good. It's only a half an hour, and the main developer behind the game is he doesn't like doing interviews or stuff, but he agreed to talk to Danny over at No Clip. but he didn't want to use a webcam, so they made a vampire puppet to do the like flashback stuff and the like Zoom call portion
It's so
of it.
good.
It's really good, man. Like it's really good, and I really appreciate that he's really open about the design and the creation of the game of like, hi, I made this game and I published it on all these consoles and Steam and stuff, and it's an HTML5 game. Like, it was not supposed to be as big as it is right now, which is why we had to make a new engine. Like, we had to move over to a new engine, that way it could function with all of this stuff we're putting in it.
Yep.
Empire Survivors is great. I really love it. Please go play it if you haven't. It's $5 and you'll get probably 400 hours worth of gameplay out of it, and it's so good.
Let's see, I think I just looked at my stats on it, and I think I have 2 days put into just that game.
Yep. Oh, it's so good.
Oh.
It is exactly the perfect thing I needed to play this week. I really wish it was on PlayStation, because I'm really in the mood to just start it from fresh, but I don't want to delete my save that I have on Xbox. But man,
Yeah.
Vampire Survivors is good.
Is it supposed to be coming into PlayStation after the Switch release?
There's no word yet, because I posted on I posted in a Discord server. I searched for it a little bit this week, and like my first response, like when I googled it.
That's right. You found that Reddit.
First reply was, "Why the hell isn't this on PS5 yet?" And it's like, bro, there's like 2 people working on this game. Like, take a breather here. Sheesh. Yeah.
It'll get there when it gets there.
Yeah, hopefully soon, now that the new engine is done. Final game here, the PlayStation Plus games came out this month. Whatever they call the 3 free games. They have like 4 different sets of free games. Who knows what they call them anymore. But, they have the 3 monthly games. One of them is PGA Tour 2K23, and I'm like, yep, I could play a golf game. It's been enough years. Let me try this out. 2K23 is pretty good. Reminder, this is made by the Golf Club team.
Golf Club guys.
Yeah, so they just make the PGA Tour games now because they should be doing that. And the thing that I didn't like about the Golf Club isn't really a problem now on the PGA Tour, which is I thought the Golf Club started too hard. It kind of assumed that you were an expert at playing golf video games. This feels much more like the old Tiger Woods games, where you're creating a golfer. You're not great, obviously, but if you play the tutorial and you go through like the training stuff and you start at the beginning, it's going to be pretty easy on you, and it's not going to be like, oh, your upswing deviated by 5 degrees, so it just shanks off into the woods. Like, it's not doing any of that. You're going through like a training kind of like placement tournament at the beginning, and I'm not winning because I'm at the beginning of the career mode, but I'm doing okay. I'm in like the top 10, top 7 spots, which I'll take. That feels pretty good. I'm not like, man, who let this dude in? Am I right? That it's not that difficulty. I do appreciate getting in. They're like, all right, go ahead and create your character if you want. You should really go through the tutorials. I was like, you know what? It's been long enough. I'll do that. No big deal. Go through. It's actually pretty good. They teach you very much the basics, but it really doesn't overstay its welcome. I think it's like 4 lessons. It's basically like shooting, putting, chipping, and then kind of angling the ball a bunch of different ways. And that's pretty much
your wanted curve on that thing.
Exactly, yeah. And then like after that, they're like, hey man, if you want more stuff, great, but you should probably just go play the game, because you're kind of ready. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. I think the thing that intimidated me a little bit is once I got done with my first tournament, they're like, you unlocked a skill point. I was like, sorry, what am I doing here? And they're like, oh, go spend it in your like my player area, because it's an EA game. And you open it up and there's just a skill tree. And they're like, oh, if you put points into this, you'll if you're trailing in the leaderboard, you'll get a little bit of extra power when you're doing your drives. But when that advantage goes away as you move up the leaderboard. And I was just like, okay, that's actually pretty cool. And they have advantages like that for chipping and putting and using irons and stuff like that. So that seems pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
And the game was very much like, hey man, if you don't want to use it, who cares? Whatever. Not a big deal. But if you want to get some cool bonuses, you can do that too. So I don't know. I played this for like an hour yesterday and an hour this morning. And I was just sitting here being like, yeah, all right. Yeah, golf game. This seems pretty good. I can see myself playing at least a little bit of this and kind of having a little bit of fun with it. And I appreciate the golf club for what it is and was, but I'm looking for more of that Tiger Woods experience. Like, I would love it if we get back to the point where you backswing and you mash the X button forever to superpower your shot. But we're not going to get back to those days anymore. But I appreciate it's a little bit more of a smoother curve at the beginning, as opposed to like, you're in the PG, let's go to Sawgrass, you're #1 in the world. It's like, no, that's not me. Jeez.
Like, you idiot, you twisted your grip at the last minute and now you're in the lane.
Exactly. Yeah, like I don't need that. Anyways, that's all I'm playing. Let's take a break.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right. I drink some water. It's super hot in here. Has it finally cooled off outside? Nope. Sure hasn't. Oh, man. Let's check news stories here real quick, just to make sure there isn't anything last minute. Evo is going on right now. I've been watching a little bit of that. It's been pretty good.
Well, I haven't even been paying attention to it, to be honest.
I was mostly curious because people seem to really be hot on Street Fighter 6. And I wanted to see what that looked like at Evo. And that seems...
I forgot that's probably getting its first look over there.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of Mortal Kombat... What was the most recent? 11, I think? I didn't catch any of the Marvel vs. Capcom because that's not really one I'm interested in. But most of the Street Fighter 6 has looked really good so far. So it's certainly not a game I'm going to be playing, but it's at least a cool game to watch, which I appreciate. Welcome back.
My cat decided to join us.
Oh, hello.
Like, literally, I was closing the door and he bolted in here. It's like,
Scoot?
what the hell, man?
Alrighty. Are you guys ready to do this other part?
Yep.
No. Yes. Maybe. No.
Alright. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of August 7th, 2023. Gord comes out on PS5, Series consoles, and PC. That is Gord. It's an interesting looking strategy, city building, adventure, survival thing.
So it's not a blasphemous Disney game with Goofy as the lead character.
No.
That is correct. That's correct. I don't know. That looks interesting. I highly recommend looking at a trailer for that one because it seems like it's got a lot of cool stuff in it. But one of those that's like, yeah, it's like 10 different genres in it all at once. So next up is Tower of Fantasy, comes out on PS5. It's already out on PC, on iOS, and Android. Came out sometime last year. This is an anime MMO. Like, if you kind of... Seems like if you like the MiHoYo stylings, the kind of Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail sort of stuff, it's probably the style you're looking at here. So based on that, you probably know if you're interested or not. Next up, most importantly, finally coming out, WrestleQuest. Coming out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series Console, Switch, and PC. If you have not seen this, it is a command RPG / JRPG, like WWE styled turn-based RPG that looks really good.
Paper Mario, but wrestling.
Yeah, like it's. I'm glad that someone is making. I'm glad that a lot of people are making more command RPGs, and I'm glad that someone is trying something that isn't like science fiction and fantasy or both. Ooh, like having the kind of modern day professional wrestling thing is a really fun idea. And I'm watching this one pretty closely because I think this sounds pretty cool. So go check out WrestleQuest. Next up, 30XX comes out on the Switch and PC. We played 20XX on the We Were Like It a while ago. This is the sequel to it that's been in early access for a while. It largely seems like the previous game with just a bajillion more things in it. 20XX was a Mega Man X styled roguelike, which was okay. Just needed a lot more stuff in it, and it seems like this might be that. Next up is Atlas Fallen, comes out PS5, Series Consoles, and PC. This is like a desert world character action RPG thing. It looked really similar to something else and I didn't realize what until I looked up who the developers are, and it's Deck 13. They made the Surge 1 and 2 and Lords of the Fallen, so...
I was trying to figure out if this was supposed to be a Souls-like or not, and I couldn't figure out watching the video.
Right.
But, yeah.
Yeah, hearing they made Surge 1 and 2, and I was like, okay, now I know what type of game you're making. That's probably going to be very good. So, check out Atlas Fallen. Stray is coming out on Xbox One and Series Consoles. This is that futuristic cat backpack adventure exploration thing that was PS5 and PC exclusive for a while there, for around a year. So that's coming to consoles, or Xbox
a fun
consoles.
game.
Yeah. And last but not least, Stray Gods, the role-playing musical, comes out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series Console, Switch, and PC. I think we talked about this before. If not, we've talked about it on Picking Up the Pixels a lot. This is a kind of decision-based RPG that has a bunch of music numbers. It's like a modern-day kind of musical game. Really recommend you check out the trailer for this. Austin Wintory was the of Journey fame, was the musical director on this. It has a ton of really famous musicians and voice actors for this, so looks really, really cool. I'm very interested to check it out as something that's pretty different from what we usually get. Talking about 3 news stories here, pretty quick ones here. First up, Xbox and Square Enix have a new partnership that they announced at the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Fest that I'm hoping I got the name of correct.
Yeah.
The partnership starts with Final Fantasy XIV releasing on the Series consoles in summer 2024. And there's gonna be some like open beta before then, and I try not to look at Final Fantasy XIV because I feel the gravitational pull towards it, and I don't need that in my life at all. And
sure you don't.
It's a good game,
I'm
though.
just saying.
I mean, I know I'll love it. The time.
I had to pull. Final Fantasy XIV was the first game that I was able to play on my PlayStation 4, because when I bought my PlayStation 4, I was still poor and had no money after buying the console, so I was able to swing a $15, monthly membership for that.
Right.
And yeah, I spent a lot of time playing that game.
Yeah. More importantly, the Square Enix CEO Takahashi Kiryu said that fans can expect other Final Fantasy games on the Xbox in the near future. And he's also gone on to say in interviews that they're going to try and bring over as many Square Enix games as they are able to, sort of along the way. Which is great, because there's a bunch of stuff that's just trapped on PlayStation platforms that's really good. So... I'm not expecting Final Fantasy 16 to be on the Xbox platforms anytime soon, but it'd be nice if, like, say, Final Fantasy 7 Remake would wander over. That would be super great, because that game is really good. And then hopefully, once there's an exclusivity window over for something like Final Fantasy 16, that stuff can come over there too. So that's great. I think we've been waiting for this for quite a while, and it's nice to see that that there's something sort of formal at this point of saying, yes, we're finally going to be bringing this games over to the Xbox, which is great. So.
Yeah, because Square's been picking and choosing weirdly what games it's releasing on Xbox.
Right.
Because you could play original 7, 8, and was 9 on Game Pass at one point?
Probably.
I believe it was, yes.
Because I think they did the same thing where it was all the way up to 12 for a while there.
Right.
I'm not even going to talk about the Kingdom Hearts issues that they have getting those games on the Xbox.
Right.
That I wouldn't be surprised if that's just massive copyright issues with Disney that prevents them from doing that.
They have the full remix versions and stuff like that on there now, but they're digital only, and they came out last year.
It took a real long time.
How long they've waited. Square haven't been picking and choosing. Square have been reading dem checks and saying, cool, this one will stay off.
The Sony PS5 checks, which, get the bag, but also it's so frustrating to have any exclusivity from any games, but especially stuff like Final Fantasy 7, which is everybody should play this because it's really incredible.
There was another article, I didn't see it posted on here, but about how Square posted that their sales are way up, but their profits are way down.
Right.
And then everyone's like, well, how can that be? It's like, you guys forget that they were heavily into and still are into NFTs and stupid things like that. So
weird that they would be losing money hand over fist on scams.
Yeah.
Strange. Very odd. But that's a good sign. Hopefully we start seeing... I would love to see if the floodgates would start opening, but I'm assuming they're going to kind of be coming out with stuff piecemeal here, which is good. Yeah. 2 thumbs up. Next great thing coming out from Xbox this week is they're now selling controller replacement parts. I forgot about this initiative they had recently where they're kind of leaning into a bunch of right to repair options for consumers. So only in North America at the moment, Microsoft's selling replacement parts for Xbox controllers that includes not only the standard controllers, but the Elite Series 2. You can buy analog 6 buttons, triggers, and circuit board assemblies. So pretty much everything on the inside of the controllers. And they also have service guides and YouTube videos for how to open them up, how to replace them, how to repair, all of that stuff. And
can you finally build your own controller from the ground up?
That'd be great. Yeah,
that would be the dumbest, most expensive thing. It would be like mechanical keyboards all over again for PC.
That's right.
Oh, you're not using the Kobayashi 3 thumbstick and
right? How could you? Yeah, this is really great, especially for the Elite controllers. I feel like if you have any issues with those, being able to buy first-party parts directly from Microsoft is a huge thing, and being able to crack open these controllers and service them is not a super big deal. I mean, it gets a little bit harder as the controllers get more complicated inside, but as much as I love iFixit, their videos are great, but being able to have this stuff directly from Microsoft is really good. So 2 thumbs up on that one too.
If they'll start making their newer controllers, like anything now after the Elite 2, if they'll start making them with the idea of us being able to open them up and getting into them and fixing them ourselves.
Oh, like making it more easy to crack them open. Hopefully,
like you were saying, they're not terrible, but they're not great if anyone has ever tried to open up anything past a PS2 controller.
Right. Yeah, that would be the hope would be that, yeah.
Before you know it, they're going to be selling Lego kits with this crap in.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
build your own controller.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be great. Last news story here is a short but important one. Dead by Daylight is getting an Alien collaboration, which is perfect. Super great. Like Nicolas Cage and the Xenomorph coming into Dead by Daylight. I love it.
I cannot tell you how immensely pleased I was, because it's one of those things that, like, I made a joke recently that my brand is very on point.
Right.
And I can tell it is based on when something gets announced and how many mentions I get.
Yeah, how many at Moon Piers you're getting.
Yeah, that's through Discord, X, Blue Sky, text messages, whatever the case may be. And I think I got 3 people at me about the Xenomorph, and Mackie just straight sent me a text and was like, hey dude, the Xenomorph's coming to Dead by Daylight. It's like, crap.
Perfect.
And they've got a new level, and it looks like it's the Nostromo, which I am more than happy with. Actually, it might be the LV426 station. I don't know. I'll have to go look at the trailer again. But I am 1,000% down for this.
Yeah, they are going to have a more info this week on the 8th, on August 8th. So I'm assuming we'll see kind of maybe a little bit of gameplay and some stuff about the level there. But yeah, man, if there's ever been a perfect collaboration, it's going to be this one. So
yep,
great.
Hopefully they get Sigourney Weaver as a, what do they call him, Survivor or whatever. Yeah.
I hope. I think the only downside with that is you can't. I don't think you can make Sigourney Weaver a survivor because she's too strong to be a survivor.
That's right. She's just unkillable.
True.
Yeah. I think that the problem exists also with the guy from the Evil Dead series. He's technically in it as a survivor.
Oh, Ash,
but yes, but he is stronger than the things he hunts. But there is no Deadites in the actual game, just him. Yeah. But I think, don't get me wrong, I would love to see Sigourney Weaver, give me Ash, give me all of the people as options for survivors. But I don't think it can work.
So you just go for random space marine or
and
here's your private
And how much do they want to lean into that? The thing that got the Friday the 13th game in Hot Water, the thing that's gotten Dead by Daylight, not in Hot Water, but licensing issues in the past. How much do they want to lean into human likenesses too much more versus the Xenomorph can come in and this guy from Resident Evil that's not a real person, that sort of
What if they change the hooks where they put you up against the wall and they put that biomass on you?
Right?
Oh, dude, they have each certain levels have custom hooks.
Oh, that's perfect.
They're set in different ways. They're still very visibly the hooks,
right?
But they'll be set into a building or into the setup and the layout for the hook will be slightly different.
That's all kinds of dumb stuff. What if they just dropped you in? How many? What is it? 4 survivors, 1.
4 survivors, 1 killer. Yes.
What if they did it where it's 5 survivors and one of you has a chest burst?
Honestly, it would not surprise me if the chest burster was a perk that the alien can have. Because you've got the twins, which is a dude who rips a baby off his chest and sends the baby running around by itself.
What's this? The Binding of Isaac here?
So that doesn't sound horrific.
100%.
Yeah,
dude, it's 100% an Isaac thing.
Gosh,
you've got the Dark Souls guy, who is he's got a little knight that patrols by himself,
right? And
he'll chase the survivors for you, and then you know where they are because he'll let you know where they are. There are characters with that kind of stuff. I want to know, can it run on the ceiling?
Yeah, there's the question. Yeah.
And how much is that going to screw you up? Because don't you play in first person as a villain or whatever?
As a killer, you do.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Imagine being able to run on walls and then running on the ceiling and then having to deal with that.
Ever playing this game?
Nope. Goodbye.
Or if they even give you the vents and stuff, they have to have vents on the ship for the Xenomorph to go through to just pop up.
Right.
Well, that's something that the thing from Stranger Things does, creates holes,
Oh, does it?
and you can literally teleport between holes as that thing.
Nice.
The Demogorgon. There we go.
Yeah, that's great. Oh man, I'm so excited
Sounds
to
like
see
it's
what
gonna
this
be
looks
cool.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully they do what they normally do. So what they'll normally do is they announce it, and then before it comes out, they'll do a focus down video where they will show the killer, all of their abilities, and what they do. And it's usually like a 30-minute video explaining what the perks are, what their abilities are, and what they do. So
right.
if they
Cool.
do one of those, like I'll probably be watching it and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, that's all of our news stories. That's our episode for this week. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. Don't forget to join the Discord server. Hit us up on all those whatever social media platforms we're on nowadays. I don't even know. Don't ask me. I just work here. Don't forget about patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones are
The
numbers.
ones are numbers.
Get all the cool, exclusive, early access, behind-the-scenes audio over there. Again, the $5 a month tier is the recommended one. And don't forget, we don't delete any of the episodes. Or I should say, we haven't deleted any of the episodes in the back. So we have like 700-something piece of audio up there. So if you just want to go through all the back catalog, it's all still there. So you can go check that stuff out. And if you can't support us financially,
mic check.
that's like get some mic checks probably. If you can't support us financially, totally understand. Big same. You can help us by sharing on social media. You can help us by telling your friends, rating anywhere that you can rate this show. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. All that stuff really does genuinely help any of the shows you listen. But do ours first before you do anyone else's. Thanks. I think that's it. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
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 Okay, Nymph. What are your titles?
I am inevitable.
Yep.
Gamble your cubes. The core is there, not the Koroks. So I can bounce off a hat. And yay, all right, golf game.
Moon, what do you have?
We are stupid. What's one more podcast? I'm that kind of monster. I've been bad. It measures in centimeters. Just pushing buttons. This is too long, but I'm going to say it anyway. Never have finger guns be more appropriate. Blasphemous Disney game and build your own controller.
Hello there, Torek, by the way. I am inevitable and 2 beds in a hole.
I missed that one. That was
both of
grand,
which
wasn't it?
are real good.
I was down with I am inevitable, but 2 beds in a hole.
It's a last minute front runner.
Yeah.
There's something about how that sentence sounds is too good.
I am good with that one.
I'm okay if you guys are.
I'm good with it. I'm
Okay.
good with it, and I'm ready.
Oh,
Yep, I'm ready.
dang! All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 824 for August 7th, 2023. 2 beds in a hole.
Started from the bottom, now I'm here.
At least it's 2 hots in a cot.
All right, thank you
I
very
have
much.
to fry those nuts.
That's right. Louise, please. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. We greatly appreciate it. Hope we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, Louise.
Bye.
Meow.